2, 1. All right, let's start out with a quiz today. Which sentence is correct? So take a look at the picture. So is it A, the woman waits at the window when the delivery man came? B, the woman is waiting at the window when the delivery man came? Or C, the woman was waiting at the window when the delivery man came? Let us know your answer in the comments, and we will give you the answer later on in the lesson today. So don't forget, we have the Acquire English Club. It's an opportunity for you to speak, to practice your speaking nearly every day. We do it over Zoom. So we have a lot of people from all over the world who come to practice their English. And of course, Tuan and I are English teachers. We host these meetings. What we do is we introduce some discussion topics and then split the members into groups where they can discuss those questions. So if you're interested, there's 2 types of memberships. We have guest members, and they can take unlimited free lessons, or they can take members only lessons for $5, $5 per class. And our next free lesson is this coming Saturday. So Saturday, May 29th. And you can change the time, so when it is in your time zone. So if you are in Tokyo, it's at 7 p.m. But if you click on this little drop down here, you can choose your time. So if you are in Hanoi, it's at 5 p.m. If you're in Dubai, it's at 2 p.m. So make sure you double check the time zone. We've had some people kind of miss the lesson because they thought it was in a different time. So double check your time zone, and we hope you can join us. So if you are an Acquire English Club member, which does cost money, it's $9.99 per month, you can take unlimited free classes and unlimited members only classes. And we have these nearly every day. So if you go down past the free lessons, you have the members only lessons. So we've got one this Friday, actually 2 this Friday, another one Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Nearly every day there's an opportunity for you to speak English. So hopefully you can join us. And if you want to give it a try, again, we have this free lesson coming this Saturday, May 29th. So welcome back once again. This is, I believe, episode 39 of Acquire English Live. Tuan, can you believe it? It might be 38. I after I said 39, I questioned myself. I was like, is it 39? Maybe it's 38. No, I'm pretty sure it's number 39. So in today's conversation, we are talking on the phone, right, Tuan?
Yes, we are.
And I was wondering, how often do you talk on the phone these days?
Video call, maybe once a month with my parents.
Uh-huh. How about you and your wife? Do you actually use the phone function on yours? Yeah.
Very rarely, unless it's an emergency.
Yeah. I think I talk to my wife using Line. I don't know if people are familiar with Line, but it's just like a messaging app, and you can talk to people on it. Very similar to Facebook Messenger, other messaging apps. Very popular in Japan, some other countries. But yeah, I was thinking about that during this, when we were making this video. We don't talk on the phone all that much anymore, right? But this is an opportunity for us. We're talking on the phone. So how about we just go ahead and get into today's conversation. So let's give it a listen.
Hi, sorry I missed your call.
That's okay. What were you doing?
I was getting a haircut. Why did you call?
I was wondering if I could borrow your camera.
Sure, no problem. When do you want to pick it up?
Will you be around in an hour?
Yeah, I'll be here.
Great. See you then. All right, and let's go line by line and break down that conversation. So the first line, of course, the phone rings and Tuan says,
Hi, sorry I missed your call.
so hi, sorry I missed your call. So this means I'm sorry that I didn't answer when you called earlier. It's kind of just a polite thing to say to someone if they called and you didn't answer. Of course, people don't always expect you to answer your phone. It's just kind of a nice thing to say, hi, sorry I missed your call, when you don't answer the phone when someone calls you. So of course, this means earlier I called Tuan and now he is calling me back. He's returning my call because he missed my call before. And the next sentence. That's okay. What were you doing? So that's okay. What were you doing? So that's okay. No problem. What were you doing? Why didn't you answer? Why didn't you answer when I called earlier?
I was getting a haircut. Why did you call?
So I was getting a haircut. Why did you call? So I was in the middle of a haircut. So I couldn't answer because I was in the middle of a haircut. What did you phone about? What did you call about? Why did you call? And I think this is a good point to a good pronunciation point to look at here. I was getting, right? Tuan did not say getting. Let's listen one more time.
I was getting a haircut. Why did you call?
What did you say, Tuan?
I was getting a haircut.
I was getting, right? So, yeah, I think it's more common in British English than American English, but in American English, we kind of hate T sounds, right? Like I was getting is very uncommon. I was getting something. So we kind of only do half of that T sound, right? The tongue kind of goes up to the top to make the T, but we don't come down. So it's just getting, right? We don't go all the way. It's kind of half of the T sound. I was getting a haircut. Same thing with we do with the T on the end of cut. The tongue stays on the roof of the mouth. The tongue stays up. We generally wouldn't say I was getting a haircut, right? I was getting a haircut. That T sound stops at the top. We don't finish it. Finishing a T, I mean, is to say the T. We just stop at the top. So it's a good point there. Difficult one for people to hear because when they see this on paper, they see it on a screen, they think that word is getting, but we often pronounce it getting. I was getting a haircut. Also, the G is left off. Anything to add there, Tuan?
Haircut. Should we delve into that?
Go ahead.
As you can see, the haircut is in two different ways here. It should be there should be no space in the conversation. A haircut is a noun, and if you separate, it's an action.
Here, we'll fix it live. It'll take too long.
Yeah, it's okay.
Yeah, haircut should be one word here. I was getting a.
So because we say a haircut, yeah, we need to make it one word. If we were saying I was getting my haircut, we can separate.
Right. So it should be one word, right? I was getting a haircut. One word. Not a big deal, but that's how it should look. I was getting a haircut. Okay, let's move on. So again, the question was, why did you call? I was wondering if I could borrow your camera. So I was wondering if I can borrow your camera. This just means, can I borrow your camera? We use this I was wondering as kind of an indirect question. it's a bit more polite. Instead of just saying, can I borrow your camera? Or could I borrow your camera? It's, I was wondering if I could borrow your camera. Sometimes we might use this if we think the person might say no, right? It's just a bit softer. Maybe the person will say no. So instead of being very direct about it, we soften it by saying, I was wondering. So I was wondering if I could borrow your camera. Anything to add there, Tuan?
The original question would be, can I borrow your camera? But because we turn it to indirect question, we use an if for yes, no questions.
Right. So if this were why can't I borrow your camera? I was wondering why. We'd say that. I was wondering when, I was wondering who, I was wondering where, if it's a who, what, where, when, why, how question. But since this is a yes or no question, right, we use the if. I was wondering if I could borrow your camera. Okay, let's move on. Next line.
Sure, no problem. When do you want to pick it up?
Right, so sure, no problem. When do you want to pick it up? So yeah, you can borrow it. When can you come to my house to get it? Again, pick it up means go and get. So we've used this before in different lessons, I believe. To pick something up, you can pick up groceries. If you go to the supermarkets, you can pick up groceries. When I finish work today, I will pick up my son from school, right? To pick something up, right? To go and get. Okay. And another good pronunciation point here. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, collect maybe.
Oh, collect is a good one, right? And another good point here in terms of pronunciation is the want to. Let's listen to Tuan one more time.
Sure, no problem. When do you want to pick it up?
It's wanna, right? When do you wanna? When do you want to pick it up? So I'm sure this sounds very, very quick when you're listening to it. And Tuan did say it's a bit quickly, but a lot of those kind of smoothly go together. When do you want to pick it up, right? When do you wanna? So when you can learn how to sort of link those words together, when you can learn the sound of this sentence, it doesn't sound like you would normally read it. It's not when do you want to pick it up, right? It's when do you want to pick it up, right? Very quickly. That's kind of how you need to think about English in terms of listening and pronunciation. We can't think about it as how we read it, right? Because it never or very rarely sounds that way. And this is why we need to practice the shadowing and those types of things so we can recognize those sounds. Okay, so let's go ahead and look at the next part. Will you be around in an hour? So will you be around in an hour? Will you be home 1 hour from now? So we have, this is maybe a new one, be around. In this case, will you be around your home? Will you be in your home or near your home in an hour? Will you be around? But really it just means be at home. Will you be at home in an hour? And in an hour means 1 hour from now equals in an hour. Anything to add there, Tuan?
No, it's quite clear. Yeah, we can say in an hour, within an hour, in the next hour.
Right.
For the same meaning.
And again, this is another good linking example. Will you be around in an hour? In an hour, right? So that can come off very quickly because people will think, what does din an hour mean, right? Well, it's not din an hour, it's around in an hour, but we could often just link those together and it goes by very quickly. So will you be around in an hour?
And the next part, student pointed out, the student pointed out that why is it an hour when there's an H, but because the H is silent,
right?
We would say an hour.
Right, it's an out sound, right? So we needed an there.
Yeah,
it's not
an hour.
Right. Good pointing out. Yeah, some people make that mistake because it's often taught that when a word starts with a vowel, we want to use an, right? When it starts with a consonant, a book, right? Those things. Then we want to use right, or a. But really, it's the sound, and I think it's one issue as an English teacher who focuses mostly on helping people speak. I think people get confused because they learn how to read first, right? And again, English does not sound how it's written, right? So we have to be careful with that. It's a vowel sound that we need to worry about. The letter doesn't matter. Who cares about what letter it is? We only care about what sound it is. Okay. And the next part.
Yeah, I'll be here.
So yeah, I'll be here. So yeah, I'm going to be home for the next hour. So I want to pick up the camera in an hour, and Tuan will be home for the next hour. And the last sentence.
Great. See you then.
Great. See you then. So perfect. I will see you soon. I will see you in an hour. Okay. And then let's go ahead and get into the grammar for this lesson. And it was these two ones here. So
That's okay. What were you doing?
So that's okay. We have what were you doing? And
I was getting a haircut. What did you call?
so I was getting a haircut. I was getting. So both of these we have be, past tense of be, and ing. So this is the past continuous. And we use the past continuous in a couple different ways. So generally we have two events, 2 points on a timeline, at least two. So in this case, Tuan started getting a haircut right here. And then later, of course, he finished getting a haircut. In the middle of getting a haircut, I called. In the middle. So we can say Tuan was getting a haircut when Adam called. Or you can switch it around. Adam called when Tuan was getting a haircut. Both are okay. But this case, it means one thing happened in the middle of a longer action. So getting a haircut is a long action. The phone call is a short action that happened in the middle of the longer action. Okay. Now we also use this a lot when we talk about time. So in this case, Adam called at 3:30. So we could say Tuan was getting a haircut at 3:30 p.m. So those two kind of ways here, we use the past continuous when there's 2 points happening on this timeline here. Anything to add there, Tuan? Did I miss anything?
That's quite clear. Yeah, this is the past continuous. We don't use it so much in daily conversation, but yeah, generally maybe a start of a story, or if you are talking about a very specific time when you were doing something. But yeah, as you can see, not that common.
Right. Yeah, it's a good point. When we're going to tell a story at the beginning of a story, we'll use this quite often. Okay. So let's go ahead and look at our quiz question. It was this one here, right? There's the answer. I gave the answer already. So which sentence is correct? So the woman waits at the window when the delivery man came. The woman is waiting at the window when the delivery man came. The woman was waiting at the window when the delivery man came. So Tuan, which one is our answer here?
So the delivery man came in the past. So because it's the past, we can't use the first one. That's a routine or something that is generally true.
Right.
But this was only one incident. And the second one, yes. The woman is not waiting now. It was in the past. So
right.
It was a specific time. And yeah, so we have to go with C.
Right. So C. So the woman was waiting at the window. So she was waiting, and then the delivery man came. So again, we have a longer action that is the woman waiting, right? She's waiting. And then the delivery man comes. It's a shorter action that happens in the middle of her waiting. And in that case, of course, it's the very end. She's not waiting anymore once he gets there. But that's what happens. You okay? let's look at this one. So we had Sarah was getting a massage at 10 a.m. So again, on the timeline, maybe she started before 10 a.m., right? At 10 a.m., she's in the middle of getting a massage and then maybe finishes after 10 a.m. Sound good? So let's try a little quiz for you watching at home right now. So you have this situation. We've got a pool party. It's almost summer. Getting excited. It's almost summer. I don't know how many pools will be open this summer, but we'll see. So we have a lot of our friends at the pool party. We have Phil and Beth and Fiona and Shannon and Jenny and another random young lady there. So when I got to the pool party, so these things were happening when I got to the pool party. So we want to talk about what was happening. So we have Beth. Beth is over here. I don't know if you can see my click, but Beth is over here. So what was Beth doing when I got to the pool party? Please write your answer in the comments and we'll give you a little bit of time to think about this picture. What do you think, Tuan? What was Beth doing?
So when I got to the pool party, it's a short action. Maybe it's, yeah, at this specific time, Beth was, and we can say, taking a selfie.
Beth was taking a selfie, right? Taking a picture of herself. Okay. And next we have Phil, guy over here, and Fiona over here. So again, in the comments, what were Phil and Fiona doing when I got to the pool party?
It's two of them now, so not was, but Phil and Fiona were.
Right.
And you can see Fiona's holding a ball, so you can say Phil and Fiona were playing with a ball.
Playing with a ball. Yeah, they're playing with ball. They were playing catch, something like that. Okay. And the last one, we have Shannon and Jenny over here.
Maybe a little easier, a little shorter. We can just say Shannon and Jenny were talking.
Right. Shannon and Jenny were talking. Perfect. Okay. And let's look at the last ones we have here. So what were you doing? What were you doing this morning at 7 a.m.? So if you have your answer, please leave it in the comments below. Tuan, what were you doing this morning at 7 a.m.?
I was teaching an online lesson at 7
Teaching an online lesson. Oh, that's what I would imagine.
What were you doing?
At 7 a.m., I was making breakfast for my kids. Or probably trying to get them, I was trying to get my kids to hurry up and eat their breakfast so we could leave the house. That's usually what I do in the morning. But at 7, I think that's what I was doing. When I say make breakfast, I'm not really cooking anything. It's yeah. Unless it's a weekend or something, I'm not making anything special, but just cereal or some bread or yeah. Maybe some eggs if they're lucky. Lots of fruit. I should say preparing, getting them something to eat. Okay. How about the next one? What were you doing yesterday at 9 p.m.?
9 p.m. last night, I was teaching in the school. So I was finishing my last lesson.
A late night lesson at the school.
Usually finish 9, 10.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Finish my last lesson.
Mm. Yeah, yesterday at 9 p.m., I was getting ready for bed. So I think I was brushing my teeth probably, or I was brushing my 2-year-old's teeth, one of the two, around 9 p.m. Yeah, but definitely we were getting ready for bed. How about this one? We wrote this one down. I don't know if I even remember. So what were you doing at 11:59, of course, p.m. on December 31st, 2020? So New Year's Eve, right before it changed to the new year. What were you doing, Tuan?
I was sleeping.
You're old man.
I was waiting before with my wife for the countdown, and maybe half an hour before I fell asleep.
Oh, I see.
I was a little too old. I don't know. Usually I sleep at 11, so 12 is late for me.
I know. I'm very rarely awake after midnight. I think actually I was awake. My wife fell asleep, but my son, one of my sons, my older son, stayed awake with me. But I remember him. We watched it change the new year and watched the TV, and they did some sort of celebration. I remember very quickly my son was like not impressed and just said, "Oh, okay, can we go to bed now?" He's so tired. It's very cute, very funny. I felt a little bad. I was like, I didn't mean to make you stay awake, but yeah. So I think I was just watching TV at that time. Okay. And the last one, get a little personal, a little more personal. What were you doing when you first met your wife?
I was in my school when I shouldn't have been in my school, using the computer when I shouldn't have been using the computer. And my wife came to the office. She was checking on the office. I didn't know she was going to come that day. And she was very surprised to see me and my friend.
So you weren't supposed to be in your office, and you weren't supposed to be using the computers in your office, and your wife came to look.
Yes,
I see.
Was checking to, so that was surprising.
But you had never met before that?
Nope, she thought I was a thief. She thought I broke in.
Oh,
she
nice.
Was very scared. Yeah.
Nice. Well, at least she didn't call the police.
No.
That's a good first impression.
Yeah. And how about you? When what were you doing when you first met your wife?
I was riding on the train when I first met my wife. So we actually met on a train in Tokyo, kind of somewhat late at night. It was always, people look at it like whenever we talk about this, someone says, "Oh, you were hitting on her, you were flirting with her late at night on the train." I don't remember it that way. I don't really remember it that way. I remember getting on the train with one of our very good friends, and she kept looking at me and smiling. Okay. So this was not me like walking up to her and asking for her phone number. She was looking at me and smiling many times. And then I said to our friend, this girl keeps looking at me and smiling. Then the next station, the train stopped and the seat next to her opened up. So our friend kind of pushed me like, go sit down next to her. So then I went down and sat down next to her and talked to her like a gentleman. Right. I wasn't just trying to get her phone number. So then we exchanged information and then maybe had our first date about a week later or so, something like that. So
wow.
Yeah. So whenever I say I met my wife on the train, everyone says, "Oh, you were some creepy guy who goes and chats to girls on the train to get their phone numbers." I promise I'm very shy. So I normally wouldn't do that, but luckily our friend was there to give me some courage give me a hand in the situation. So anyway, so again, today's conversation, if you have any questions here or any answers to these questions, please leave them in the comments below. But I think that pretty much does it for us today, Tuan. Yeah, once again, don't forget about the Acquire English Club. We hope you can join this Saturday, May 29th. Tuan will be the host. I'm thinking if I can, maybe I will join, but it's not a good time for me. So we'll see what happens. But hopefully you can join. Again, it's a good opportunity to speak. It's a good opportunity I think, to learn about the world a little bit, to learn about other cultures, to learn about other people. So yeah, please give it a try. It's quite fun. Anything to add today, Tuan?
Check the time, and don't forget the lesson is 30 minutes. So yeah, don't try to be on time, please.
Yeah.
Make sure you check the region wherever you're living.
Yeah, be sure to double check the time zone. I had some people, contacting me the next day asking me what time the lesson starts. So yeah, please check what time it starts in your time zone. It's very important. But hopefully we see you there. So hopefully you have a wonderful evening, and we will talk to you next time. Thank you. Bye.